We'll be reading, we'll continue the reading from introduction, page number 4. Page number 4. That is very elaborate subject matter, brief, but briefly it can be stated that a devotee is in a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in one of the 5 different ways. One, one may be a devotee in a passive state, one may be a devotee in an active state, one may be a devotee as a friend, one may be a devotee as a parent, one may be a devotee as a conjugal lover. Arjuna was in a different relationship with the Lord as a friend. Of course, there is a gulf of difference between this friendship and the friendship found in the material world. This is transcendental friendship which cannot be had by everyone. Of course, everyone has a particular relationship with the Lord, and that relationship is evoked by the perfection of devotional service. But in the present status of our life, not only have we forgotten the Supreme Lord, but we have forgotten our eternal relationship with the Lord. Every living being out of many, many billions and trillions of living beings has a particular relationship with the Lord eternally. That is called Swarupa. Every living being out of many, many billions and trillions of living beings has a particular relationship with the Lord. This is called Swarupa. By the process of devotional service, one can revive that Swarupa, and that stage is called as Swarupa Siddhi, perfection of one's constitutional position. So Arjuna was a devotee and he was in touch with the Supreme Lord in friendship. How Arjuna accepted this Bhagavad Gita should be noted. His manner of acceptance is given in 10th chapter of Gita, 10.12 to 14. Arjuna Vacha Param Brahmam Param Dharma Pavitram Paramam Bhavam Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum Ahustam Rishayas Sarve Devarshi Naradastata Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Cheva Bravisyime Sarvametam Ritam Manye Yanmam Vadasi Kesava Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Deva Nadanavaha. Arjuna said, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand you personally. We'll stop here. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम् Hare Krishna. So it's a wonderful, wonderful move where Srila Prabhupada is beautifully explaining about Guru Parampara. We discussed about that yesterday. We'll continue that a little bit and then we will enter into how relationship is very vital in uh, in one's life, especially in practicing Krishna consciousness. So dear devotees, yesterday after our discussion was thinking about this, that how is this Guru Parampara so prominent and very vital in one's progress of Krishna consciousness? Dear devotees, if we give something to a person, receiving it back with with everything same. For example, you give an instrument to your friend, then he's just using it. You gave it in a good condition. Now he's your friend, and then he did not give back in the good condition. And we kind of feel that, Arey, now I can't use this anymore because the instrument is no longer the instrument in which I have given it. So he's my friend, I can't tell him much. Generally, we see that happening. For example, you have two children. Now one child is very submissive, is just studying, is practicing Krishna consciousness nicely the way you expected. And the other one is little naughty, is not hearing, is not understanding. So then the feeling will come, why is this happening in this way? It's quite natural. But we need to understand what we have been given is not in those lines actually. Because every child is unique. An instrument doesn't stay for a longer period of time. It doesn't look that we can't compare it as an example, but definitely we can compare. Why? Because just an instrument, it changes. Just a person to person, it changes. Two children are there, one son, both of them are not same, right? In the family, there are their husband, wife, father, mother, yeah? Father's brother, uh, his wife, their children. Let's say they're all staying together. Every person is different, right? That means we have to accommodate all of them. Everyone's interests are different. Everyone's nature is different. But they all are staying together. Why? Why are these nuclear families before were always staying together? Because even though their sabhava, their nature is different, but they have beautiful qualities that they all wanted to hear from one person. That means there is a head of the household, where even the head of the household sometimes he discusses, and then they all come on the same page, and then that's how they used to move forward. And then they all work also, but they all used to bring the money together. They do not do any calculation. No, I have only one child. This my brother has three children. I am also giving 500. He's also giving 500. This is not justice. They're not thinking like that. Why? Because they are in a state of acceptance, right? Please try to understand this. Even though it is a different nature, different people, different setup, but still they are all coming on a same plane. We actually see the example of this thing that an instrument doesn't work. Two children doesn't think in the same way. A family, all the people in the family, they're not on the same page. But if you see this dear devotees, since 5,000 years ago, everyone are on the same page. 5,000 years, since 5,000 years ago. And then Krishna confirms that not just since 5,000 years ago, even before that also, when Krishna has spoken, they are all on the same page. And then at that time, it was the truth was given to these Manus, the kingly people. To those personalities, the truth was given. Not like the truth was given to a normal person who's going on the streets. It was being actually given to the kingly people. Now, that same confidential knowledge, Rajavidya, was actually broken in between. Now, when something is broken, the person who is the source of that, he has to come and fix it, right? For example, you have some problem at the home. Mataji will immediately call the husband. You know what? This thing is not working. Do you know how it works? Then Prabhu says, Prabhu will tell, you know what? I'll come in the afternoon or I'll take some break and then I'll see what's happening. Because he knows. He comes and then he checks. Oh, this bolt is not working. So he fixes it and then it begins working. So he knows Where the problem is, he understands it and then he fixes it and then moves forward. Likewise, the Supreme Father is the source of everyone. Now, that person knows that when something is broken, he knows how to fix it. Now, how did he fix it again? He gave the instruction to his pure devotee. Please understand why Lord is not giving this instruction to Duryodhana. Why is he giving to Arjuna? You should understand this. Because Arjuna's nature is different. Duryodhana's nature is different. And if you actually see, even in the family itself, in the nuclear family, the head of the representative is very intelligent actually, if you notice. And then the father will tell, now you take care of this family. That's how it used to be in the olden days. It was not given to some person who is like, who doesn't have logic, reasoning. He's not, he doesn't have qualities. So likewise, the devotees since 5,000 years ago, the same truth is repeated. Please understand. If something is repeating as is, same, without any of change, is it not something wonderful, dear devotees? Something special, right? Something to cherish, where the Lord's words are as is. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is a supreme personality of Godhead. He comes. Then he establishes this Brahma Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. This Gaudiya Sampradaya he establishes something beautiful. Same truth, same supreme personality of Godhead came 5,000 years ago. He came again. And then is giving this truth. That means reauthorizing the truth. Supreme Lord is coming and reauthorizing. And this truth will continue for 10,000 years. And then after that, Kali becomes so prominent. The temples, the the deities, the holy name, the shastras, Guru Sadhu Shastras, they will all go internal. They will not be manifested after that. The Kali Yuga becomes so degraded that if somebody is discussing about Krishna Katha, Krishna consciousness, and there is no interest, there is no eagerness to hear. Because everyone is running behind so many other things. Kali, because Kali is very prominent. The devotees going forward down the line, practicing the science of Krishna consciousness also will become difficult. Why is it practice of Krishna consciousness will become difficult? Because the advent of Kali. Actually, this is an interesting thing. Even devotees, we say, oh, you know what? Kali is very prominent. Because that person is not practicing, this person is not practicing. Through that process, we forget that we are not practicing. We give the notion of Kali, and then we say that, oh, that person is not practicing, this person is not practicing due to Kali. But actually, technically, we are not practicing. That's why we kind of put focus on the other person. Now, coming back to this Guru Parampara, which we discussed yesterday, this is something special, dear devotees. The truth coming as is, if one really follows Srila Prabhupada and his pure followers, what happens, dear devotees, in the heart and heart, we get this conviction that other than this, there is nothing else in this life. Why? Because this is the only shelter and solace for us. There is no other shelter and solace. For example, if we think our health or our body is a shelter, can I proclaim that our body is a shelter? I can't proclaim the body is a shelter because the body is not permanent. Can we say that our wife or our husband or our father or our mother, are they the real shelter? Can we proclaim that? No, they also have similar bodies. They also are in a similar state. They are also they're also they also there is a not there is a chance they are also afflicted with so many other things. That means I can't even proclaim that they are the assurance for us. That is also taken up. Can I proclaim that our job is a shelter? Can we proclaim that America is a shelter for us? Can we proclaim that our 401k is a shelter for us? None of those things give the real happiness. So we can never proclaim that they are our shelter. None of those things are our shelter. They are not the prominent thing. They don't give satisfaction to the heart because they don't give shelter to us. Because the moment we think that that is a real shelter for us, this is ignorance, which we discussed in page 1. Which we discussed through the introduction of the Gita. If a sadhaka is proclaiming that this thing is giving shelter, that thing is giving shelter, and then is convinced with that, that itself is an indication that that's sheerly or merely it is coming through our ignorance. Agnana timirandasya. Agnana has to be dissipated. And the dissipation of Ajnana comes through this, through following the instructions of the spiritual master. That spiritual master is in the lineage for disciplic succession. How? Because they are the personalities, they are representing the words of the acharyas as these, without any obstructions or without any concoction. Because what is the beauty which Srila Prabhupada was mentioning to us, right? In the preface, I'll read that line. If personally I have any credit in this matter, it is only that I have tried to present Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any adulteration. Before my presentation of Bhagavad Gita as it is, almost all the English editions of Bhagavad Gita were introduced to fulfill someone's personal ambition. This is the secret. Prabhupada never wrote this for his personal motive. Aniyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhanamrutam. That is why everyone, whoever comes in contact with Srila Prabhupada and his pure followers, whoever comes in contact, what happens is their life will change. Because this truth is presented through Guru Parampara, through the disciplic succession. This truth is given without any adulteration, without any concoctions. Papa says that this is my credit because I'm presenting the truth as is received from my spiritual master. This is called as Guru Parampara. That's why we worship them, we respect them, we adore them. Why? Because they gave us everything. And simply when we try to follow the instructions of the spiritual master, what happens is we also get the taste of that Krishna consciousness. We could also see how Maya is working. We could also see how and why, how and where we need to take shelter of the internal energy of the Lord. Because taking shelter of the internal energy of the Lord is staying in the Guru Parampara, staying in their blessings, staying in their shelter. This shelter is a real shelter, dear devotees, because this shelter is not afflicted by financial crisis. This shelter is not afflicted by market fall down. This shelter is not obstructed by stock market crash down. The shelter is not afflicted by any of those things. Because this shelter is a real shelter. Real shelter of what? Real shelter of perceiving the truth as is. Because this shelter is everyone is perceiving this as is. And if we actually see all the personalities who came to this association, who came to this shelter of this Guru Parampara, following their teachings as is, we don't see not a single person having confusion in their life. There's no confusion in their life. There's no speculation in their life. Why? Because they just followed the instructions given by the spiritual master through the disciplic succession, through the mercy of the Guru Parampara. I remember my spiritual master telling on these lines. Today, so many devotees are practicing sincerely. He says, all credit goes to the Guru Parampara, all credit goes to the spiritual master. Why? Because he knows. Because he knows that everything is actually given by them. This is honesty, actually. Just like Narottam Das Thakur Maharaj, he says that, oh, my dear spiritual master, if you do not give your shelter, I'm gonna weep, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna fall down. I'm gonna just like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. He says that, oh, my dear spiritual master, if you do not give me shelter, I'm gonna die. We see this in the material world also. If the girlfriend is not accepting, the boyfriend says, you know what? I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna put acid on you. Without you, I cannot exist. That's a cruelty. It's a cruelty of this material nature. What are they trying to say? I also don't live without you, but this is simply on a temporary plane. This temporary plane doesn't give solace. But what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada is telling, that I'm gonna quit my body. Why? Because you're not giving me shelter, you're not giving me the relationship, you're not accepting me as your disciple. What is the use of this life? I'm gonna quit my body. Because they understood that only through that Guru Parampara, every realization and reflection will come into our. And the realization and reflections, they are the source for it. That is the beauty, how this Guru Parampara is coming since then. And this Guru Parampara will continue. Will continue if we accept or not accept. It will continue. Acharyas will come. They will come after we die. They will come again and again. They come and what? They inspire people. They give the truth. Because the Vishnu says this Guru Parampara will continue. This lineage will continue. This disciplic succession will continue. Everyone will follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Then it will continue. They get that qualification through that following. They get that qualification. Because they give that mercy. This is how the mercy descends. Avaroha Panta, deductive knowledge. There is Aroha Panta, there is Avaroha Panta. Aroha Panta is ascending knowledge. Avaroha Panta is deductive knowledge. Aroha Panta, ascending knowledge means from bottom to top. Not this, not this, this is how it is, this is how it is. But Avaroha Panta is deductive knowledge. Ascending knowledge is not right. Descending knowledge is right, because descending knowledge means the person is actually hankering for that. He's actually requesting, please give me mercy, please give me the shelter, please give me the hope, please give me how do I understand this? How do I understand this? These are the questions in my heart. Please dissipate that, dissipate that. That is deductive knowledge. And that deductive knowledge is directly coming from the Lord. This Aropanta, ascending knowledge is what? From here to top. Which is not this, trying to figure out. Not accepting the shelter, but trying to figure out. Trying to figure out will not work. Because the intelligence is teeny. It will break. That is why accepting the truth as is, that will work. Because because the acceptance of this truth, how is it is coming? It is coming from the chain, directly coming from the Lord. That's why Srila Prabhupada actually confirms that whoever understands the truth just like Arjuna understood, his life is perfected. His life is perfected. Because this Guru, because we might not be perfect. We might have imperfections. Not we might, we have imperfections. Four defects. We came with four defects. Imperfect senses. That means our senses are not right. Our senses are, that means I cannot fully see what's happening. From here, do I know what's happening in Memphis? From here, do I know what's happening in Tampa? From here, do I know what's happening in North Carolina? I don't know from here because I cannot perceive what's happening there because the senses are imperfect. Through my vision, I can't see what's happening there. Can I? It's an imperfection. We don't know because the Lord did not give us that facility. But Sanjay received that. How did he receive that? That imperfection became a perfection. How? By the mercy of Vyasadeva, his spiritual master. That's how he's able to see this Bhagavad Gita. And then he narrated the entire Gita to Dhritarashtra. You see the words like Sanjay Vacha coming in between the Gita. Now Sanjay is always remembering that this is a mercy of my spiritual master. And this is how I'm able to perceive it. That's the magnanimity of this personality. That is why they are, through their honesty, through their qualities, through their divine qualities, they invoke the mercy. This is called as deductive knowledge. They hear, they understand, they follow, they regenerate as is, no changing. Let me add some masala to this. Or Prabhupada told this, let me add some masala to this. Or let me add some spice to this. No. Or my spiritual master told this, let me add more to this. So that if I add more, then I can tell that this is what I have done. Oh, I'm speaking better than my spiritual master. That is a falsification. That is Maya. Concoctions, speculations, adding more, adding the spicing. These are all the distortions. The moment that is being done, the mercy of the Guru Parampara is stopped. Because the moment that is done, what happens? The person will no longer stay in the internal energy, he will come in the external energy. Maya. Mama Maya Durat. That means to follow an instruction. It's a mercy actually. It's a blessing of the acharyas. It's a blessing of the spiritual master. It is they who actually give us everything. Otherwise, we cannot hear, we cannot speak, we cannot discuss, we cannot do anything. Even the person who is hearing also, we should, not just the person who is speaking. No, everyone should have that right consciousness. Oh, my dear Lord, this has been given to me. Otherwise, how can I understand this truth? Oh, everything might be there in the book, but how? But understanding that as is, I need a person. Oh, but that person has to tell. This is how the knowledge descends. Very important, dear words, what we're discussing. Because if the attitude of the follower is right, he will learn everything as is, strictly, perfect. It will come as is, no change, no concoctions. And even the person, Prabhupada actually tells this. Prabhupada says that I never crossed the words of my spiritual master, or I never jumped over my spiritual master. I cannot, how can you do that? It's a deep relationship. How can they do it? No. None of the acharyas jump over the other acharyas. This is the magnanimity of the process. That is why it is genuine. That is why it will attract everyone's heart. Srila Prabhupada's words cannot be distorted. When Prabhupada says a simple living, high thinking, that's it. Simple living, high thinking, that's it. Our life should be simple, thinking should be high. When our life becomes simple, then only we can think. Otherwise, we cannot think. For example, if our life is very complex, can we think? Cannot think. Through the complex mind, can we think? Can we understand? Consciousness is thinking, feeling, willing. Can we do that? If the life is very complex, the thought process will be complex. The thinking will be complex. Through that thinking, the feeling which comes, that will also become even more complex. And willing, the acceptance of doing that action will also be very complex because the thought itself, the root itself is complex. But Prabhupada says, no, 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 no. Simple living and high thinking. Very, very important. When an Acharya says something, it is an authorization. That means when Acharya says something, it is as this Krishna is telling to us. There's no difference, there's no doubt about it. Perfect. It is a perfect understanding. One cannot put a mark on it. This is how pure the Guru Parampara is. That's how it could maintain since 5,000 years ago. Not 5,000, since eternity is coming. Because Krishna gave these instructions millions of years back also. The same teachings of Gita. Now you need to understand the gravity of what we are hearing, dear devotees. Why am I discussing this is, this actually proves the gravity of the truth. It's very grave. It's a beautiful subject matter. I always think about this. Are Arjuna heard the same thing? Maharaj Ikshwaku, he also heard the same thing? Oh, Manu also heard the same thing? Narada Muni, they all heard the same thing? Bapre. No, that truth is coming to us. Same thing. No change. What is this? What kind of thing is this? The moment I see as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is, it's coming as it is. Wow. So many books in the world, nobody gets that inspiration. But I should develop a relationship with the spiritual master and Krishna. But when one reads this, under right association, we get that feeling. We get that feeling that this material nature is really temporary. Oh, I am thinking that I'm making so many arrangements in this world that it is very permanent. It is not. How Maya is this? How much difficult situation we are kept in. Oh, none of the other books, dear devotees, I tell again. You open up any Bhagavad Gita, other book, other than Srila Prabhupada's as it is, you'll not get any satisfaction to the heart. It's a nectar actually. So beautiful. But Arjuna is confirming Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavam. Are all these personalities. Are Krishna, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, not just me telling this. Narada Muni, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, they are all empowered personalities. Through the chain of disciplic succession, they are all telling the same thing that Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Oh, he is my master. He is my source of everything. Oh, that source which Arjuna established the truth can only be understood through this disciplic succession. Only the followers in this disciplic succession, they only get this realization that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. None of the others will get that realization. Please understand. Even if the person outside this discipline succession, if he is getting that realization, means we need to understand that that person from the discipline succession has given that mercy to him. Otherwise, the person who is outside in the discipline succession cannot understand. The person has to give. Please understand this. Very, very important. As an example, right? Mirabai, she's not there in the disciplic succession, but she's a devotee. How is that? She received the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers. Who are there? They are the empowered personalities. Are a Lord person, Supreme Personality of God personally came. Now through their association, she got that mercy. Just like that prostitute, she got that mercy. How? Through Haridas Thakur. Who is Haridas Thakur? He is bona fide Acharya, the disciplic succession. Can be any person. Now we see through the life of Srila Prabhupada, these personalities are like hippies in this America. They become empowered acharyas. Bapre. Exalted Vaishnava acharyas. Wow. How? Mercy. So this mercy is continuously descending, continuously moving in the heart and heart. This is the life and soul, dear devotees. Please understand. It's all coming through this mercy. Now, whoever hears the truth, whoever tries to follow the truth, whoever is very sincere in the process of hearing, he will also get that mercy. Because the mercy is there, for sure. Dear devotees, in this very lifetime, we will realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is coming through the mercy or the disciplic succession. That's why it is so, so important. Please understand. This is not a normal thing which we are discussing. It's not something like Tom, Dick, and Harry they discuss, some kind of mundane discussion of this material world. It doesn't have any substance or any value. There is no existence actually. People are simply wasting their valuable human form of life. Discussing about so-called materialistic things of this world, about sense gratification, how to do better sex life. These are all materialistic. These are all disgusting things in this world. It doesn't have any substance or it doesn't have any existence actually. That is illusion. Because anything which is outside Guru Parampara, everything is illusion. If a person has to be protected, we should follow that person who is in the disciplic succession. If we don't follow our spiritual master, if we don't follow Srila Prabhupada, we are doomed in this world. I will write it down. Today or tomorrow, we are doomed. Why? That's a fact. What do you mean doomed? Prabhu, since 1 month I'm not chanting Hare Krishna. I'm still existing. What are you saying? You're doomed. Spiritually, you're doomed. Materially, this body through our karmic reaction, today or tomorrow it will go. But spiritually, you're totally doomed. Because once this body is gone, there is no assurance or a guarantee that we'll get another human form of life. Because what are we doing? Spiritually zero. When spiritually we are zero, then what happens? Even this body is what is a Arey, you see the trees? They live for some trees live for 1,000 years. What is the value and use? Can it understand? It's in Tamogana. Can it understand the truth? No. What is the use? Likewise, if a person lives for 90 years, what is the use if he is not Krishna conscious? He doesn't understand what Krishna consciousness is. What is the use? What is the value in this life? No value. It's because there is no existence. Anything which we do, dear devotees, in this world, if it is not Krishna consciousness, if it is not connected to our Guru Parampara, it's a failure. Our lives becomes a failure. Because this body, it can be deteriorated through any way, dear devotees. Anyhow, this body will be deteriorated. Before this body deteriorates completely, if you are fully Krishna conscious, if you are fully fixed up that yes, Krishna is my master, Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Pranadhana is my everything. Acharyas, wonderful Vaishnava Acharyas, they are everything to me. My spiritual master is everything to me. If that realization is coming, for him, Krishna consciousness is like, he will, this is the lift process. He will jump from one state to the other state. Very, very important. There are like 20 floors in the building. Let's say the power is off. His friend is in the 20th floor. To go every floor walking, it will take time, right? Is it not? It will take time. To go that place, that much, let's say it is 100 floors, and he has to walk 100 floors. You know how much time it will take? A lot of time it will take. And he'll be drained off also in between. So the process of accepting Krishna consciousness on the level of jnana, dhyana, karma, let me do this. If I do this, I'll get this. Or let me give $50 donation. If I give $50 donation, my son will become better. Or let me do this. If I do this, I'll get this. I'll get this. Karma kandik. Let me chant Hare Krishna so that I get some peace of mind. Karma kandik. Jnana, dhyana. All those things are like slow process. They're the slow process. Very important. But whoever comes through this disciplic succession, follows the instructions of spiritual master and the acharyas as is, lift the process. What are they doing? Because they are connecting to them through their words, through their vani. This is the beauty of this process. So that thing has to be re-established. Now, whoever comes to this, whoever really follows the instructions of the acharyas as it is, they will be kept in the internal energy of the Lord. This is the elevator process. That means that person will be sent into the elevator. Then he will go quickly. And whoever doesn't, then he will take the shelter of this material nature. There's only two things. Following the words of the acharyas or following the words of Maya. Following the words of the acharyas means following the words of the Lord. Aziz. Hare Krishna. This we need to understand more and more. I'll stop here. I did not discuss about relationships. We'll continue that. And there's a question from Dara Mataji. Did not discuss that also. We'll try to discuss that tomorrow. Anyone would like to add anything? Am I making sense today? It's a very important day about it. We are discussing about Guru Parampara. So very prominent. We need to understand how and why we need to always take shelter of them. Why should a person always take shelter of the acharyas? Their words, their vani. It's important. Lord Shiva was actually requesting the Lord, oh my dear Lord, may you always give your pure devotee association. What can I know in this world? If you give your pure devotee association, that means I'm always with you. Because I'll be hearing, because I'll be discussing. Because that is the greatest happiness, greatest joy. He tells to Prachetas in Bhagavatam that how important that pure soul association is. Beautiful. Lord Shiva is re-establishing that. Everyone speaks the same thing. The more we get that, the more we will understand, the more we'll accept the truth. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to add anything? Otherwise, we'll move to the next. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances on Srila Prabhupada.
Hare
So
Krishna.
very much, Prabhu. I'll take very short time. Thank you so very much for explaining on why we should depend on the Guru Parampara or why yeah, depend on Guru Parampara, and how Srila Prabhupada is explaining the importance of depending on the Guru Parampara, on the shelter, basically. And and the last most important one, either I take the shelter or of Krishna through Guru, or opposite way, Maya. So I always have to check and um, check my consciousness. And you also pointed out it's all mercy. It's definitely mercy. There's no other good. Thank you so very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Asha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. I see you joining every day.
Hare Krishna.
Please continue. Hope you are enjoying the discussions.
Yes, I am.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Please continue hearing every day. And if you have any questions, you can put me a message. You can get my contact from Sushilpa Mataji. You can give. If you have any reflections, if you want to add anything, you can put also to my, to my cell phone. Mataji will give the contact. But please continue hearing every day. I hope all other devotees are also happy in hearing the science of Krishna consciousness. And please continue doing this every day. Please be very vigilant while you chant Hare Krishna. Let us try to be more and more sincere and then move forward. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. I think I'll stop here. Dear Vamshi Prabhu, please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Srila
Krishna
Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so
Hare
much, Prabhuji, for
Hare
your
Krishna.
amazing service every day to talking about what we need to hear so that we can purify our life and take shelter of the Lord. Today, this bhajan is by Bhakti Vinod Thakur.